Welcome, everyone, to War in the Soul City, episode 21. Tonight, we're joined by two of the players. The first being Dana, who's been hard at work trying to find leads in the Camarilla as towards a spy who might be overlooking the entry of the Anarchs into Camarilla territory, or the potential that a person in the court is actually betraying their prince, Marius Calhoun, rightful ruler of Jackson, Mississippi. And the other is Virgil, the young Nosferatu fledgling, not even neonate status at this point. His sire has offered him on loan to the Dig True for only perhaps a few hours more, as the second night is coming to a close rather soon. Last we left off, Virgil was in the process of collecting on a dead drop that he was pursuing with a contact of his in the police, looking for information on the van that Rodney had absconded with at the location where Ken, the Toreador, had a spray painting show, as it were, for a crowd. A small crowd, but a crowd nonetheless. And I found some rather interesting information about that particular van. Virgil, why don't you share with us what clues you have and what you hope to put together with this information from the police station?
Well, we know it was an Anarch van. They carved their insignia into it. We know that it was housing a group of them that's been transporting them back and forth. We know that it smelled like them, so it was definitely recent. I'm hoping that we get a lead to a safe house that we can hit, cause some damage to them for once, get ahead of them for once.
And you were with Malice for a short period of time in that regard, and Rodney throughout the night. And now you're kind of on your own. Really, for the first time in your existence since you've been embraced. You've never really been left alone before. And the possibilities of this wide world of darkness that you find yourself into, this war that you find yourself on the fringes of, or even on the front lines of, maybe, is all going on under the people of Jackson's noses without them even knowing. But you wait for an indication that your dead drop has been successfully delivered. You're off in a corner, hiding yourself away from sight, having placed the funds that you were using to pay for this information and waiting for that information to be dropped at this location as a result. You've been waiting about an hour on your own. And there is a figure, being that it's fairly dark out and You're keeping out of sight in the dark as well, and you've purposefully chosen a spot that isn't very well lit. You see this figure go to the garbage can you've indicated, and after a moment, you see them rifling through some things in their immediate person. A silhouette kind of obfuscating what it is that they've kind of been doing. They are there for a moment and then begin to walk away. What do you do?
Now, if I use Unseen Passage, can I interact with things that are, would they, like if I were to grab something, would it stay visible, or if I put it in my coat, would it go invisible with me?
The way that Unseen Passage typically works is that if you're using it before interacting with something, then, yourself and whatever is on your person, isn't going to be visible to the onlooker, because the onlooker's mind is tricked into ignoring you. It's not that you turn necessarily invisible, you're just part of the
Playing with
crowd.
their head.
You're just part of the crowd. They subconsciously still avoid you, as if they're sidestepping someone that they're walking by. They simply disregard that you exist. In the case of, unless you're doing something overt, like opening a door, like turning on a light, like bumping directly into them, that breaks your obfuscation. And so you've never tested, really, whether picking up an object would actually break that, but based on some things that you know generally about how it works, better safe than sorry is usually where your brain goes. And so if you want to be safe than sorry, you pick it up and then obfuscate, not the other way around.
Okay, I would put my hood up, put my mask on, like over my face, and walk out, slowly checking around my surroundings,
Mm-hmm.
and go to seek the information that I paid for.
If you'd like, you can make a wits awareness if you want to be that observant. Okay. Looking around, it is dark down this particular street and alleyway, kind of a sectioned off place, on purpose, of course. Generally, what you would see is silhouettes if someone was down here, but you don't see any. There's nothing of any particular note, nothing that you hear that's of any particular interest. There's what you see around you is a collection of trash. You think to yourself, Rodney might have a field day rummaging through some of these things, but you're not Rodney. You're a different kind of hoarder.
Yes.
But when you go to that little trash can, you open it up, you see a plastic bag kind of sitting neatly on top. Aside from the trash that you see.
I'd reach in for it.
It's a It feels like a small manila folder inside.
Okay. Nothing else that I can see that would be anything.
Nope, the money that you left inside this trash can is all gone.
I expected that much. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing anything else that you might have put in there.
No,
Um,
it looks like that. It looks like it's that bag plus some assorted garbage that doesn't really stick out to you as something that was placed inside of this thing. It was kind of just tossed in.
okay. I'll I'll go over to a quiet place and check my the folder and see what it says.
Okay. And this is a one dot contact that you have?
Yes.
Okay. And he was looking specifically for pieces of information about the vehicle you found based on the VIN number.
Yeah, and if anything popped up for stolen box trucks.
Okay. The information that you see inside is is about the van. You recognize the you recognize it because it has the same VIN number. You see a title, a copy of the title, which is owned by a person whose address is listed on the title. It is. It doesn't have a clean record. It has been in wrecks. It has been in multiple issues when it comes to the police, but nothing to indicate that it wouldn't be hard to resell. Nothing to indicate that it's stolen by any means. At least, not according to the information that he found. The only way to really know that is to check out the owner, whose name you do have on the title. It has insurance records. It has some of the police contacts that have been involved with with this van. Nothing major, just like fender benders in the past, probably a couple of years old.
Okay. Well, I would put that in my jacket or like basically like roll it up and put it inside my hoodie pouch
Mm-hmm.
and grab Atlas and start heading back the towards where the coterie meets. And if I see any particular big crowds, I'd probably obfuscate. Maybe, unless I can avoid them with Atlas and just keep my head down.
Okay, you know that you can obfuscate yourself. Obfuscating Atlas is probably just going to be based upon commands, and so let's see how well he obeys. So make me a charisma animal handling. He's a very good
Charisma
dog.
animal can.
Yeah, animal can. He's a very good dog, but he's kind of obstinate sometimes. Well, he follows you. That much is to be expected. On the occasion, he does get a little feisty when it comes to walking past certain people when they get too close. And the other role I would like you to make is a composure and stealth. This is how well you're able to blend into the crowd, quote unquote, when there is one, without drawing attention to yourself. Okay. Not too bad. Nobody seems to pay you any mind. You are fairly confident that keeping to yourself and keeping your hood up, and you may get the occasional odd look from people who think it's weird that you're wearing a mask, but it's also winter, and people could be just assuming that it's some kind of scarf in some fashion. So they really don't pay you any mind. No one comes to interact with you, no one seems to be bothered by your presence. You are simply another person walking down the sidewalk with a dog that kind of draws their attention a little bit more than you do. But Atlas is staying close. He's not wandering off.
Okay.
He's just getting a little moody when it comes to other people getting relatively close to you.
As an old dog, or ex-police dog probably will. Okay.
But you make your way back towards the Dolphin Hotel, where you assume some of the people that you've interacted with in the recent past would be. And when you arrive, you go down through the secret places that Rodney showed you to get in and out of this place, undetected by the mortals who frequently stop here. And when you arrive, Dana is present. Now, Dana, what have you been doing in the interim waiting for some of your comrades to come back?
Well, for the most part, I've just been spending most of my time trying to end up dealing with this infernal paperwork. Spending so much time trying to end up, well, organizing all the little things I need for the armory.
And then, of course, there's the Harpy, whom you spent a lot of your earlier night tonight with.
Yeah, I was trying to forget about that. Didn't go out as well as I wanted, which I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. Plus side, I got to end up having a evening of entertainment and a drink out of her bodyguard, so at the very least there's that. Still healing.
Kind of a simple way to be coy.
Yeah, well, she got the message. Whether she understands it or not is, well, up for debate, but at this point, it at the very least gives me a chance to end up cooling down. Things didn't go out near as well as I was hoping, and, well, I'm not exactly what you would call subtle. I'm about as subtle as a brick through the window or a hammer to the back of the head.
If only you had the strength to do such things.
Yeah, well. Problem is we're going up against people who do.
This is very true. And just as you're thinking about that a little bit, as the paperwork starts to droll on, and you're getting a little bit bored of the paperwork, and your mind wanders to the very powerful individuals that you know in the Anarch movement, you know of, at the very least, in the Anarch movement. As you're spending time kind of in this group meeting spot, you see Virgil entering in. Boy, is he creepy looking.
Those eyes. Ugh.
Rodney's disgusting. Virgil's just unnerving.
Yeah, I'm so glad that Nosferatu come in various flavors of get the fuck out of the room, please. She kind of looks up from paperwork. Well, I'm glad somebody ended up deciding to show up.
Oh, the others are not back yet.
No. I have a sneaking suspicion that they won't be for quite some time.
Well, I have news. A possible lead. I don't know if we've been properly introduced. What is your name?
Dana. And you're disgusting.
Well, I suppose everybody has an opinion.
No, I was just telling you your name. So what can I do for you, disgusting?
My name is Virgil.
No. Well, now we're formally introduced.
I'll walk over to the table and I'll pull out the manila folder. This
Oh, God,
is.
is that thing sopping wet? Am I going to catch something by touching that?
No, it is perfectly dry. Unlike Rodney, I do not deal in trash. I deal in information.
Well, okay, that already puts you here a slight bit better. Okay, so I delicately look over the documents placed in front of me. What exactly am I looking at?
This is the information on the van that Rodney stole, that the anarchs that hit your previous comrade show. They
Comrade.
carved his markings into the back of it and apparently have been using it to move around.
Well, let's start. Anything here useful?
Well, I can't exactly go and see if this van was stolen from the owner, but it is at least a place to start. I don't know if they're a ghoul
You
or.
need somebody pretty who won't end up scaring small children at their very presence. That's basically what this boils down to, right?
Of course. I knew you could pick this up.
Yeah, well, somebody has to be the brains of the operation.
And Dana, when you look at it, it's there's no police records indicating that that this van was a stolen vehicle. The title refers to a man named Carl Owen. A The address on the title indicates that this person lives in the Flowwoods, the Flowwoods neighborhood, kind of in a district that a city block that's kind of mediocre at best when it comes to the style of houses. They're all kind of those copycat suburb houses, much like
This
most
is
of
on
Flowwood.
demand. Well, all right. He grabs her jacket. Look, I don't have the patience nor the inclination to end up turning this into a wonderful back and forth. So let's just take a look at what you got, and hopefully it serves to be far more useful than anything that has transpired over the past 3 nights.
He'll just kind of open his jacket and you'll see his
Oh,
weapons
God.
hanging. I'm not showing you that.
I I hope not. Just warn somebody when you're going to open your jacket, okay? I don't need to imagine it. Oh, God, it's in my brain. It's in my brain. It's in my brain. Stop.
That is not my fault.
I'm blaming you
As,
anyway.
as you can see, I'm armed, so I might be able to offer some bit of protection. And I
Oh,
have
good.
Atlas.
Oh, good. She rolls her eyes behind her eyelids before slowly opening up just in case this is a trick, because, your God, she doesn't need to picture that. Oh, God. Oh God, why does that have the same look as his eyes? Oh, she opens her eyes, if only to end up stopping her imagination from going, and it gets so much worse. Why, God, is it always me dealing with Nosferatu? Why? She grabs her jacket and puts it on.
You're just lucky, I guess.
Clearly. Okay, we got an address. Got a Mr. Owens to take a look at. Okay. You say you're armed. Good. Let's start picking up some new road flares soon. Starting to run out. Well, you coming?
I'll go over to my bag and grab. I probably have a couple of road flares in there. It's probably the contents of from the back of my police cruiser in there.
You have one left.
Oh,
I'll
good.
grab. Here you go. I only have one left, but
Then you better keep it. You know how to use one of those things, right?
yes, strike the end.
Okay. I'll just keep that in mind. She starts to make her way out. She's going as fast as she can to her car, just because, well, bluntly, being in the same room as Virgil for prolonged periods of time is starting to become incredibly disquieting. You know what the worst part is that she never was like this when she was mortal, but now it's like every single time when something's out of place, it's like OCD. It just bugs her to no end, and everything about a Nosferatu is out of place, and she, ugh, what is going on?
You do know of one person who might be able to answer that question. It's
I
about
am not going to him. I am not going to him, okay? I don't care how much Austin tries to end up playing the good sire, okay? I know what he's really like. I know what he's about. And I know that it's just going to end up turning into a point of me trying to end up playing the good child. I have no interest in that. God. Ugh.
I mean, there's always the thought that we could eat him.
I am not putting my fangs in that. I don't care if I'm about to go into torpor. All right? I don't even want to know what he tastes like. Okay, I don't even want. It's probably like sucking on a damp, freshly used gym sock or something. I don't know.
A,
Ugh.
a stray thought does go through your mind, though, about your embrace night. Damn, that was good.
Yeah.
It's like drinking
Yeah.
the world's most delectable wine. Whether you had a favorite before, you do now.
Yeah. That's not comforting at all. She tries to lie to herself as she thinks about it. She gets into the vehicle. Waits for the new found member of the coterie. This well, disgusting is what he is, but Virgil. Virgil, who the hell calls themselves that?
Virgil would walk up and open the back door to let the dog in, and then get in the front seat.
What the hell is that?
That's Atlas.
Who
Atlas, say
just
hello.
simply stares. Atlas simply stares for a moment and then nudges your shoulder, Dana, as you're sitting in the front seat in the driver's side of the vehicle.
All right, Mutt, just don't pee on the upholstery or something. She kind of pats his head absent-mindedly, like, then realizes she's being kind about it and pulls her hand away, like as if she's made a horrible mistake. She knows better than to get attached. Why is it always dogs?
You just hear a panting in the back, and a little tail kind of just thumping against the back of the seat.
Nope, too easy. Too easy. Too easy. I'm just gonna move on. Starts driving towards the address. Just gonna end up going into Flowwood. This is not going to be easy. Every so often she looks at a rearview mirror trying to catch a glimpse at Virgil and then verts her eyes back onto the road. Well, at least she can keep focused on something. If it was Austin, she might crash the car.
So what is the plan when we get there?
Well, unless you are particularly good at the art of... Never mind. I'm probably going to just knock on the door, see who's home, and if the worst case scenario, we might have to jimmy a lock or bust a window, get in, take a quick look around, and hope to whatever the hell is going to end up saving our ass, that this just turns into one of those we're going to find a clue and move on. Our worst case scenario is that the owner didn't report it as missing because they're already dead. Drank all to pieces, maybe embraced and left in a frenzied position, hidden, locked up in a basement, just waiting for somebody to come and take a look and get torn to pieces by said previous owner. Then the house explodes on us, and we die in a firebomb incident that basically was set to end up taking us out. You know, the ones who are too dumb to say no and deciding to actually look into this shit. Does that about sum it up?
Okay, well, I'll be with you invisible.
That is not helping. What do you think, Atlas? We gonna get blown up tonight? Good dog.
You hear a tail wagging behind you again.
Just so long as it doesn't decide to ruin the upholstery. This car cost me a lot more than I care to admit. Might seem like an old rust bucket now, but I bought it when it was new, and god damn it, it's mine.
Atlas would never. If he needs to go, he would tell me.
And so, you drive into the Flowwood. I would like you to roll me a composure and drive, Dana.
Oh, we're fucked. One success.
I could allow you to slip by undetected at a cost.
What's the cost?
We'll make it easy. An aggravated willpower damage.
Yeah, sure. It's not like Dana is well in control. She's clearly taxed out for almost everything at this point.
Oh, goodness.
So, yeah.
Alright. So far as you can tell, you slip into the neighborhood undetected. All of the little signs that you're looking for as far as security measures that they might have put in place, much the same as you have, even with the the removal of Mercy and Liv, you still have your connections throughout your entire domain, and you suspect that if the Anarchs were smart, they would have something similar going on here. And so you do what you can to avoid the trappings of what could potentially cause you to be discovered. Now, whether or not they actually saw you enter, that's a give or take, but whether they realize that it's you, you're fairly certain that there's no way that they would know. You're just another member of the neighborhood going home, so far as they know. And so you drive out to this address where the owner of this van is supposed to be living. It's fairly late in the night. You've been up to busy things before this time around. It's probably close to 1 o'clock in the morning, and the lights are off in the house, which you suspect is because the household might be asleep.
Well, one can hope. I'm going... Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, you do notice that there's only one vehicle in the driveway. It's a 2-story CoffeeCat house, much like every other on the block. What do?
I begin to step out of the car and look to Virgil. Are you anything like your cousin where you have a tendency to snoop around in things that you really shouldn't?
Generally, no.
Too bad. You're going to have to learn that real quick then. Go around the here place, see what you can see. Have the mutt here sniff around. Maybe they end up smelling something. And I'm going to just take a look at what the front door and the mailbox has to tell us.
Okay. I'll go ahead and get Atlas out and obfuscate.
God, I hate it when they do that.
Something you never quite understood why it happens that way. You know that you can avoid the sight of vampires, even humans, but for some reason it's never Atlas never seems to lose sight of you.
Interesting.
It's always something that's kind of struck you as a little bit odd, but it takes a little bit of research possibly to figure out the reason behind that. But that's never been something that's been pressing on your mind, has it, Virgil?
No, I never really learned why things work they do. I'm still getting used to the reason of how they work. I figure the whys can wait for when I actually can do anything that I want.
True indeed. And so, you're walking around the house to see what it is that you can see. Then I would like you to make me a wits and awareness to get an idea of the perimeter of the house.
Ooh. Um. I gotta spend the willpower to re-roll that.
Yep, because you don't have any
Why?
successes.
Why did you end up digging into my dice?
I don't know. It seemed like a good deal at the time.
Spam Derek DIC emotes if you got them. Virgil, you're finding it a little hard to concentrate. Even with Atlas kind of at your side to try and, well, you go ahead and roll one more dice for me.
Roll a single dice.
Yep, to get the assist from Atlas. Okay. Even with Atlas's help, it's the same as every other house down this block. There's nothing particularly special about it. It's kind of on the lower end. You're noticing that a little bit of wear and tear as time ages everything. A little bit of wear and tear on the house, where it could potentially use a little bit of fixing. These thinking back on it, you get a little distracted in your mind about when these houses were built, when this development was made, kind of losing yourself into the little details that your brain has stashed away for God knows how long, about the different things that have happened as far as, the residential movements of the city, and some of that because of some of that that need for that knowledge in your past life, as it were. You get kind of lost in the details, and you find yourself after a moment not actually looking at anything anymore. You've kind of gone still and lost in thought for a moment. Dana, what are you doing in this moment?
Well, at this point, I'm going up to the front door, and I'm just checking the mail.
Okay. So there are mailboxes on the house. There's it's kind of one of those, walk up to the porch and put the mail in the slot next to the door.
Now, it's been a few nights, so my presumption here is that if everybody's already dead or missing inside, then no one's been picking up the mail, and if that's the case, it should be stocked full. If it's empty, that ends up telling me that somebody's at least still checking it.
And the only thing that you find is a grocery advertisement, which just says current resident at this address. So it's possible that someone's been picking up the mail.
All right. I'm going to end up walking and checking the front window, taking peeks where I can to see is there signs of life in the house.
Okay. Since you have sentient, or not, you have heightened senses, don't you?
I have both.
Okay. You may use heightened senses if you like, and it'll be a wits awareness roll for the inside.
Well, that'll work.
All right. You allow your eyes to focus in the dim light of the interior of the house. You can see through the cracks in the drapes because the drapes do move subtly, as if there's maybe an air conditioning going on inside or heating. But there's movement of air inside. That's at the very least. You kind of focus in on the surroundings of the front window, and you see a fairly typical living room with a TV, a couch, an end table, a coffee table, lamps. You see that there's a kitchen attached. It's also not got the light on. There's hallways to the back and upstairs to lead into further rooms. And that's what you see so far. What you see is it's a little unkempt. It does look lived in. It doesn't look like there's anything that's been removed from an inhabitant's point of view, where there's, there's opened mail on the counter. There's a table with place settings. There's even the window looks a little dusty. It could use a little bit of cleaning. Some of the carpet's a tiny bit tattered, like it's wear and tear, like general wear and tear, like it's been used. And so nothing about this house is new. Everything about this house indicates that somebody lives here.
I think at that point I will knock on the door.
And you wait. A minute goes by. It's about this time, Virgil, you're catching yourself drifting off into your own headspace about when this place was built. What are you doing in the moment? You heard that Dana has knocked on the door. It's kind of maybe what snapped you out of your head.
Well, she said to get sneaky, and I'll tell Atlas to go around front with Dana and protect her. And I guess I'll try to look for a door or window that I can break into.
Okay. There is a back door. That much is clear. The lights are off, and there's also a window that you kind of peek in. It looks like it leads to the kitchen. Are you wanting to try the door first or the window first?
I'll try the door. Maybe try to pick the lock.
Yes, it is indeed locked. So if you want to unlock it, and you have tools that you could use to pick the lock.
Yes. Would that be the stealth break-ins?
I'm going to call for a larceny roll, actually. This is going to be dexterity larceny.
Okay.
You do have a success. Are you going to willpower it, or do you want to succeed at a cost?
What's the cost?
Someone is going to intervene on this.
Someone is going to intervene on this. I don't even know what that means.
What do you do?
Fuck it. I'll see what happens.
So, are you accepting or are you rejecting?
Yeah, I will accept.
Okay.
Okay. Noted. Another minute goes by, Dana. You maybe rap on the door a second time. And you hear a voice inside. It sounds a little muffled because there's a wall between you saying, I'm coming, I'm coming. And a moment later, you see a man. A rather fetching looking man. He's tall. He's got a beard. He's pretty well kept, if only he was. Except he's in a t-shirt and what you can only imagine are his boxers. Kind of rubbing his eyes, kind of looking at you. Can I help you?
I'm talking to Mr. Owens, am I not?
Yes, you are. Who are you?
Somebody who might have information about a particular van.
What van?
The one that is registered under your name and who may have ended up getting upended on a highway not more than a few nights ago. Would you like to invite me in so we can discuss this?
Who are you with?
I don't think that much matters right now. What matters is that your name is tied to a van that ended up causing a lot of problems and it wasn't registered as missing. You can talk to me, or we can end up making this an authorities thing.
He looks genuinely confused. What are you talking about, van?
I am going to activate a Scry the Soul.
Ooh. First time Dana is using this power.
And of course I get hungrier. Okay.
What's your hunger at, Dana?
Well, now it's at 2, but...
Okay. Still manageable. You could snack. That's 4 successes. So, what are you trying to find out about this person?
Well, that depends on his composure subterfuge roll. Because I can ask as many questions as the margin has.
Oh.
And I can ask any questions involving his psyche or his aura as I so choose, so long as it can be answered in a yes or no.
Said composure subterfuge? Okay.
3.
That's 3.
I
You need 1 question.
really... Oh, God. No, I can't spend the willpower. Alright.
What is your 1 question, Dana?
Does he know what van I'm talking about?
No.
He legitimately does not know about the van I'm talking about.
No, he does not.
I flip up in the folder, going over the details and show him the registration. This becomes a bit of a problem.
He looks at the folder, he looks at the title. Yeah. That certainly does look like a problem. That is my signature.
Again, you might want to end up inviting me in so we're not having things escalate outside your home. Especially as much as I'd love to end up staring at you in your boxers all day, I'd like to be able to do so in the privacy of your own home. I'm pretty sure this is something you'd at least want to go over.
He kind of scratches the back of his head and kind of flippantly makes a kind of ushered you inside kind of gesture. By this time, Virgil, you have successfully unlocked the back door, and you see that the individual that Dana's talking to. He hasn't really flipped much in the way of lights on, but he's talking with her at the door for the moment. What do you do?
I will start looking around and just poking around, see if I can find anything useful or interesting. Just like going over, seeing if anything like mail on the counter, any kind of notes on the fridge. Then like start going up and looking around the house and going upstairs.
Okay. And you're intending to do this undetected?
Yes.
Well, he's obfuscated, so...
Having interacted with the door, he's not obfuscated
Fair.
anymore.
Fair.
Oh, re-obfuscate then.
With unseen passage.
Okay.
Alright, you get hungrier, Mr. Virgil. That rumbly in your tumbly is starting to get a little bit louder. And it can really go for some of that sweet nectar. But you stamp it down. You compose yourself. You obfuscate. You are certain that if you just simply look with your eyes, you will continue to be undetected by anyone in this vicinity. Unless, of course, they have powers that would allow them to do otherwise. But you don't suspect that that's true here. Or maybe you do. Who knows? And so you start poking around at the things around this downstairs portion of the house, going over the mail. You find very typical things like bills, like different bills and things. You see that the name and the address is confirmed. You see, more grocery ads. Maybe he saves them. Maybe he goes to shop when it's, price effective. Maybe. But that's not what concerns you at the moment. You're more interested in figuring out more about him. And so you continue to poke around in this kitchen area. And he's fairly neat. If the little bit of clutter, but otherwise fairly neat. It's well kept. It's certainly not a slovenly home. What is it that you're intending to look for?
Honestly, anything out of place or that would give me an indication of that this guy's working with the Anarchs, maybe.
Clues to working towards the anarchs. Okay. Then,
Unwittingly or not, he might just be being mind controlled or like compelled or dominated of some type or something like that.
well, as Dana and this individual, Carl, walk back into the house, you can overhear their conversation from this point on. But looking at the mail, looking at the the different things in the house, make me another wits awareness. No, nothing really sticks out as particularly anarch related. You don't see any markings, not immediately. You don't see any carvings of any kind. There doesn't seem to be any, quote unquote straightforward indications that this person's working with anyone aside from his employer.
Okay.
Whatever it is he does for a living. There's not a whole lot of indication about that either. Not down here, anyway.
Yeah, I'll guess I'll start heading upstairs.
Okay. So you're gonna slowly make your way upstairs so that you don't draw attention to yourself in case the stairs decide to creak.
Yeah.
Going back to you, Dana, you and this individual, Carl, are now kind of going towards the couch when it comes to, and he's turned the light on at this point, and seems a little bit baffled looking at the copy of the title that you have in your possession. Is It kind of raises an eyebrow at you. Who were you with again?
I never said. And this conversation isn't about that. This conversation is about a very large mess that was made in your name with what you just told me is your signature, but something you don't remember doing. That worries me, and I think worries you greatly. She just kind of makes herself comfortable. Why don't you sit down, Carl?
Yeah, it sounds a lot like fraud. I'm not gonna lie.
It does. It does sound a lot like fraud. And that's really what this comes down to. I'm trying to understand this because I was asked to end up doing kind of a look-see into what happened, and when the plates were ran and registration was done, your name came up. Now you're free to go to the DMV tomorrow and end up asking them about this, but I mean, everything's in your name. So, and I take a quick look at the date. When was this thing acquired? When was his name put on it?
Um, 2014, so a year.
So for a year, you've paid off a vehicle in your name and didn't know about it.
I've never had any car payments, so I didn't even know it existed.
What, you just bought that one outside, secondhand? You got it on the cheap?
I don't remember buying a car a year ago.
So whose vehicle is that? She gestures to the one outside.
That one? That's an old beater I've had for a couple of years now.
But you don't recognize the vehicle here.
I I've I don't know what this vehicle is even.
Well, it says right there on the paper. Read it aloud. See if it jogs a memory.
And he gives you the name of the make and model of the of the the van as it's printed on the on the title. Is that supposed to mean something to me?
Well, I would hope so. No ex-girlfriend that's pissed off at you, nothing like that.
No.
I'd be
It's
worried.
just me.
I'd be worried about that too. But so what is this? It's not a work truck or anything like that. Where do you work anyway?
And he'll give a name of a local office.
Okay, so he's not saying anything that is registering to me as maybe an anarch front or anything like that. Thus far, outside of the fact that he doesn't know he bought the van, that the van's registered in his name.
Make
There's not much ties.
make me a wits investigation.
My strong suit, but it's still average dice, so. I can't willpower it. Well, I can, but then it's just gonna get worse.
Doesn't ring a bell. It may be, it might not be, but it doesn't ring a bell.
I have to push it. I'm going to rouse the blood and scry the soul again.
Okay.
Or. So I got 2 questions I can ask.
Yes, you do.
And it has to involve his psyche or his aura. Is this person under a dominate? If we're under an effect of dominate.
You kind of peer on the fringes of this person. And it's almost as if you can see some invisible chains around his head. Yes, he is affected by dominate in some fashion. When or to what degree, you have no idea.
All right, then I think I can stop wasting our time here, depending on this next answer. Does this person know an anarch? I'm trying to establish if this guy's just a patsy, in which case, all right, then I can move on. But if there is a personal connection, he's just kind of his name was being used, but he does have a connection, then that's something we can use.
I'm going to need you to further define no. As an acquaintance or as a personal connection?
Personal connection. If it's an acquaintance, it doesn't do us any good.
Yes? Question mark?
Now I'm going to roll. Out of all the kindred I know, who would have at least some kind of chance of being able to do this to this individual?
Okay.
Out of the anarchs I'm aware of, who might be able to do this?
Intelligence politics. Okay.
4 successes.
Let me quickly look. Out of the people that you know or know of, one comes to mind. That's Joseph Gutenberg.
Out of curiosity, Carl, you wouldn't happen to know of Joe or Joseph Gutenberg, maybe?
Can't say that I've heard of that name before. And you are more than free to do a wits insight if you want.
I don't have much of a choice. We gotta push it. That's 3 successes.
Let's see. Let's do that. He seems to be telling the truth. If he does, it possibly explains the kind of vagueness of the answer, in that he might not know them by that name. In fact, he might not remember them at all.
Man usually has an incredibly white beard, almost like Santa Claus. Very, very long mustache.
I've seen a person like that around, but I can't put a name to him.
You can't remember his name.
No.
But you probably feel like you talked to him, but you can't remember when.
Now that I'm kind of thinking about it, no, he's always seemed kind of friendly, at least from a distance, from what I remember, what I can recall. I don't recall ever meeting him face to face, like across the yard or even that. But I've seen him walking around. It's usually late at night, and he's getting home from work or whatever.
Oh, he lives around here?
Like 2 blocks that way.
Well,
what's this about?
A very weird coincidence.
Uh-huh.
But I got some good news for you. At least now you can end up going to the DMV, claiming insurance for something you don't have to end up paying for, and maybe get a payday out of it.
How odd.
Wow.
Seems like he's
These are
racking his
just
brain.
Well, look, I'm not unreasonable. As far as I'm concerned, and as far as the paperwork's concerned, this van's yours. Now, if it happens to be reported as stolen, well, that would also mean the insurance is claimed up and all that, and you can simply end up here saying, hey, has anything come in? And you're going to find that unfortunately it's been ruined beyond repair. Plus side means that old beater of yours that you currently have can be upgraded.
Thank you for
Or you can
bringing that to my attention.
Or you can end up being the kind civilian and just end up saying that, hey, there is some mistake in the paperwork. I'd like to end up getting this revoked. Do what you got to do with it. But it is important.
Right. Thanks for bringing that to my attention, I guess.
I know, it's a little worrisome.
Well, you haven't exactly told me who you're with.
Would it matter?
Yeah, it kind of would.
What if I were to tell you I'm FBI?
I don't see a badge.
Please, female body inspector. She just kind of sprawls out on the couch.
Alright. Well, thank you for bringing that to my attention, but I think it's time for me to go to bed now.
I guess. But if I were you, I'd keep your doors locked at night.
I already do.
Yeah, but well, things are probably going to get a little weird, and I'd keep your head down. Now, she stands up.
And he stands up too and goes to the door to usher her out. In the meantime, Virgil, what are you doing?
I am poking around upstairs.
Poking around upstairs. That is going to be a wits plus investigation. You leaving it there?
Yeah.
You start to poke around a little bit. Some obvious things is that he must dress kind of nice for work. You see nice shirts and nice pants in the hamper when it comes to laundry. You see that the bed's a little unkempt, probably because he just came out of it. That otherwise the house is fairly ordinary. There's the typical findings that you would have, and you're looking for something out of place. You're not really finding anything that's out of the ordinary. Seems like he's an ordinary daytime worker with a job that maybe requires, maybe doesn't has him wearing nice shirts, nice pants. Doesn't look like he pulls out ties or jackets, though, so maybe that's a indicator that it's not a prestigious job, but it's something to still arrive looking nice for. You kind of you see ordinary things.
I'll just kind of ease my way back down the stairs and try to slip out the back door before the conversation is done.
Okay. Easily done, since you are obfuscated. But opening the door yourself will break your obfuscation. And it looks like he's at the door ushering Dana out.
I am. As he gets to the door. Oh. Carl, one last thing.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of leans into him. Rest well.
Okay.
And it's at that point she is going to suddenly feed on him.
Oh.
She let him get in close to end up doing so.
At first, there's a little bit of a struggle. He seems taken aback by all of this. And it's that moment, Dana, though, with him kind of draping out from your mouth as you're feeding on him. You see an individual standing next to your car. A white-haired man, big mustache, kind of a old-fashioned looking hat, kind of leering at you.
I am going to close the door, and once I'm done feeding on this individual, which I will take 2 points, I am at hunger 2, but as soon as I drop to 1, I'm going to roll 3 rouse checks to heal a point of aggravated.
Okay. Ooh.
Oh, wow. Didn't cost me.
Lucky
so I'm
success.
in reverse. So I'm only going to take 1, just enough to make him tired. And I'm going to lay him down on his own couch. Let him wake up in a few minutes thinking that, well, he's not going to remember me leaving. Who knows? Maybe he was roofied by a pretty girl. Besides, who'd believe him? But I take the pieces and start to head out. I'm sure that at this point I can end up walking out and Atlas at my side, Virgil skulking around somewhere.
Atlas is there, kind of looking at you for a moment, and then looks over to this bearded fellow that is leaning up against your car. And Virgil, you're still making your way out the back door. Oh. Hey there, darling.
Joe!
He kind of tips his hat at you.
Funny meeting you here. I was just dropping by.
Funny meeting you here. I was just dropping by, too.
He's someone special.
Wouldn't you like to know?
And I think I already do. You end up spending enough time to scramble the eggs. You also put his signature on the van your boys ended up using. You put him at a lot of risk, so I can't imagine he's that important. But, on the other hand, you did know him well enough to end up getting a signature on.
It's called connections, sweetheart.
A random nobody in Flowwood is connections.
I didn't say he was a random nobody. I didn't say he wasn't a random nobody. I just said connections. I thought you were smarter than that.
I'm going to rouse the blood. Or I'm not going to rouse the blood. I'm going to do another Scry the Soul. Because this is an incredibly useful power for this kind of shit. I succeed. So let's roll. Damn it! The good luck had to run out sometime. But he still gets an opposing roll. Hopefully he botches it.
Oh, hang on. There we go. You win.
Is that his touchstone?
No.
Damn, that would have been easier. Well, can't blame you for trying.
Oh, I forgot to adjust his hunger. Heh.
Are you kidding? I was kind of hoping. Joseph. And I'm going to use... I'm going to end up using Sense the Unseen.
Ooh. That's fancy.
Do I still see Virgil around?
Virgil, make me a wits plus obfuscate.
Also, anybody else who happens to be in the unseen department should also do so, unless Joseph is alone. Definitely know Virgil's there.
You know Virgil's there.
Do I see anybody else?
Nope.
Joseph.
Diana.
Would you be kind enough to get in the car?
I don't think I'm going to do that, sweetheart.
Well, you might remember then I don't have a problem with making a bit of a scene.
No, I understand. And I'm fully aware that you're not here alone. But neither am I.
Probably not.
Are you willing to bet on that?
Joseph. Who are you talking to?
That's right. I'm talking to the bitch.
That's right. So, You don't want to get in the car and do this civilly.
I got my own car. Where you want to go?
Well, where I want to go.
It's back to the Capes, right?
Well, they do have some questions for you. Some people end up going missing, other people are going bad. Honestly, I'd just rather set you on fire and call it a night. But rules are rules.
But you won't. You know how I know that?
If I told you, would I expect a straight answer?
I don't expect nothing out of your mouth to be anything but dripping with venom, spot, and lies. So.
All right. Here's what I want to end up knowing. You guys keep sneaking into Camp Turf, and it's not coming through our part of town. Somebody's letting you through.
And who do you think that is? I'm curious.
Well, you suck at sneaking around, so it's probably not you.
You haven't seen me trying to sneak around here.
Not your style. You like making an entrance. You also like giving me that look, that dirty look that gets me just so hot and bothered.
Go on. Who is it and how do you know?
Well, I already answered one of your questions, so if you want to end up getting that answer, I think this is the quid pro quo kind of situation.
Yeah, but I don't think it's gonna be quid pro quo.
Well, if you're not going to play the game, then why'd you invite me to play? Come on, Joseph. We're still talking. The fact that you poked your head out means that you wanted to point something out. It means you wanted to talk. There's something that wanted to leave your lips. Now, I might be a big bad bitch, but I'm not completely unreasonable.
No. I have business around here somewhere. But I saw that your car was in the vicinity. Thought I'd go poking around, see where you were. Because you're not turf, Miss Rain.
It was your turf. You gave that up the moment you decided to end up causing harm at an VtM. I'm bold. I'm bold, but that was something else.
You know as well as I do that Prince Calhoun is nothing but a tyrant. I know better than you do that Marius Calhoun is a tyrant. He is nothing if not sadistic bastard.
And so are you.
But him more so. I'm at least reasonable.
So you better end up starting to show me that you're reasonable now, isn't it? Here's your chance. Come on, Joe. Give me the spiel.
As soon as we started asking for more, as far as feeding rights in this city, what did he do? He clamped down and made our territory smaller.
Yep.
How do you think that makes Hungry Kendra feel?
Well, you don't feel much of anything outside of wanting to tear throats out.
Exactly. He's causing his own masquerade breaches.
Oh, he's causing them. Oh, okay. I'm sure that once I explain that to him, everything will just be hunky-dory.
No, that ain't how that prince works.
That's not how you work.
I've worked with him for decades. I know how he works. And
Now,
I
you
told
still
him,
have somebody. You told him what?
I told him to fuck off. Why do you think I left the Chantry that day?
Because despite the fact you look like an old man, you're still a petulant child.
Says a baby out of her crib.
Yeah, and still smart enough to try and end up staying one step ahead of you. I mean, you guys had to end up putting some makeup on a pig and call it Tyler.
That is Tyler.
If it were Tyler, don't you think you would have done something by now?
If it weren't Tyler, do you think we'd be ballsy enough to take down your sheriff?
Last time I checked, he's still standing.
Last time I checked, he was bleeding out his asshole. Funny scamps, those Nosferatu. Always tricky.
Yeah.
Always hard to see.
Disgusting, really.
So why are you hanging out with one?
Mostly because the biggest difference is at least they only make me want to throw up in my mouth. So, with that being said, last chance, Joe. Please, pretty please, with sugar on top, get in the car.
No. Data, I need you to make me a dexterity athletics.
Okay, and would Cat's Grace come into effect here?
No, it is not a balance check.
Okay. Only one.
Oh, that did not roll. Okay. Oh.
Oh, shit.
Well. It is in that brief, very quick moment that you feel arms grab either side of you and pull you into a grapple where you cannot move. And there's ugly, dripping teeth right beside your neck.
Ready? Oh, God.
Hi, Dana. You cannot move. You are grappled. He has got you tight, and he is looking like he wants to bite down on you right now. What do you do?
I think someone else will do something too.
Virgil, what do you do?
Not only me, but Atlas.
Oh yeah, Atlas would attempt to do something, except I don't have the dog stats in front of me. Hang on. Did I make a sheet for Atlas?
I have no idea.
Now, I have to... Remind me again. Freddy, is he a youngin'?
I don't know if you would know that. So that would be a roll. And no, I don't have a sheet for Atlas.
I don't know.
You've seen him before, but you don't know how old he is. I need the stat block for a dog. For guard dog. Oh, that's going to be a minute. Well, I suppose this is a good time to take a break. So,
Okay.
everyone, we're going to be right back. I'm going to grab, a stat block because I'm going to need one. And we'll refresh ourselves and be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everyone, to episode 21 of War in the Soul City. And that certainly seems to be the issue at hand, is these kindred are looking as if they're going to be fighting on the front lawn of a potential contact, question mark, to Joseph Gutenberg. So, we were left, where we left off is Atlas was beside Dana when Freddy suddenly appeared. Atlas, as a result, is going to make an attempt to get Atlas off of Dana. So,
You mean Freddy?
or get Freddy off of Dana, yes. So Atlas
Because if Atlas is here on top of Dana, that I didn't think we were running that kind of show. I don't think it's friendly.
Definitely not Twitch friendly.
no, of course not. So Atlas is going to make a strength brawl against Freddy to try and get Freddy off of Dana.
Freddy's already ended up using an action, so he's at a -1 penalty.
Yep, he is.
Oh dear God! Which one is that?
That's Atlas. Sorry, I need to put names. Names in the rolls.
I was about to say, poor Atlas.
I think Freddy's concentrating on Dana, so this is just going to be a dodge on Freddy's part.
At a -1, he's already acted this turn.
Yep.
Nope.
Nope. Which means that Atlas has done 5 minus 3 is 2 plus 1 is 3, half to 2 superficial damage to Freddy.
I will turn, and as soon as I see Dana clear, put a burst into Freddy.
Freddy is still in physical contact with Dana. He has, while Atlas was able to get a chunk out of him, he did not get enough successes to loose him from her, unless Dana were to make a second action this turn. Because this is all in the same turn.
Yep. I do not have the celerity for that. Let's see here.
Well, he doesn't know I'm there, right? I'm still obfuscated.
Yep.
You are still
I'm just gonna,
obfuscated.
I'm just going to walk up and put the barrel to his head and pull the trigger.
Okay. Yeah, you
I
have.
can see him, so I can hold that up.
Okay. Then, then.
I will use my action to assist.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, because you've only done a dodge action this turn, so you.
Well, it was a called on action, so it was a forced action for the combat.
Yeah, that's true. It was a kind of a sneak in a way. Virgil, you are going to make me a dexterity firearms, and you are going to make this at a +2 for advantage because
Okay.
he cannot see you,
And +1 for the assist.
and +1 for an assist from Data. And
Because Data can see what you're doing, and he can't. So I can put him right into the gun if I can't.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And so Freddy is going to do a dexterity athletics to dodge, but he is also at a neg penalty because it is firearms with no cover.
-2 and -2 because of 2 actions this turn.
Oh, that's right. He has it at neg 4. Oh.
Mother, if you're
So
ever
that's
going
a
to spend
3?
blood and willpower,
I don't know if I should spend blood.
Do what you're going to do. Roll it. Roll it. You've
It's
already
okay.
called your action.
+3. It's +3, right?
+3 total, yes.
I will spend the willpower to reroll.
All right. So that's what kind of gun is that? Is that
It's an M4. It's a pretty beastly rifle.
so it's like a
+2.
sort of like a +2? Okay. So that's
Can I
4 + 2.
spend one more willpower to reroll?
Nope.
No,
another 3?
You
You
can
can
only
only-
spend 1 willpower a turn.
Yep.
Okay.
That's why I said, like, if you're going to do it.
Yep. So that's 4 total successes, +2 for the weapon, half to 3 superficial damage. You took a big old chunk out of the side of this guy's head, but he somehow he managed to get his spine out of the way. You did not fully decapitate him with this shot, and so half of his face is missing, but he's still operating.
Okay.
And this gives Joseph a turn. Joseph is going to do what he does best. Which is he has on. Ooh, is he gonna do that though? Yeah, he's gonna do it at least once. So he is going to extinguish Vitae on Virgil.
Shit.
So Virgil, you're gonna have to make me. What is the opposing rule to that?
Opposing roll to extinguish Vitae.
Yep.
Extinguish Vitae is a stamina plus composure.
Stamina composure. Okay.
Okay, not terrible. I have a chance.
Don't forget, you're also at a -1 for taking an action this turn.
Yep.
Still have a chance.
Oh, great one.
Not quite. So you raise your hunger by 1.
Okay.
New round. Call your actions. What are y'all doing?
I am going to... Well, as long as Freddy's not going to end up continuing to end up hanging on to me, I'm going to end up putting him in shot. Because, bluntly, I think I can take a few more shots than he can.
Yeah, I guess I would keep shooting Freddy till he puts her down or goes down.
Okay. In response to what's been happening, Freddy's going to let go and dip, and he's going to dash off. So,
Like I'm going to let that happen.
okay. So you're not going to let that happen?
Oh, no. Absolutely not.
And Joseph is also backing away, so... So... Dana, you said that originally that you were going to assist in making sure that Freddy was in the line of fire.
Shot.
Yeah.
So, if he's trying to let go, well, it's still a case of us tumbling.
That's true. Okay. Then you would make me a dexterity athletics versus his dexterity athletics.
Okay, I am willing to rouse the blood for that. Nice.
And I think so is he.
Oh.
Oh, holy moly.
Wow.
5 successes and 5 dice. Oh, hi, Felix. Hello, sweet boy.
Hey, at least yours are trying to be cute. Mine, it's a hostage scenario.
Hey, quit munching on my thing. I'm trying to work here. Oh, snikes. Even if he's trying to get you off, like try and let you go, and get away from you, Dana, you're still able to keep him where you want him to be. No damage was done this turn, but you still have him.
He's still target.
Yep. Felix. Virgil, you were going to make a shot.
Yes.
That is a composure and firearms this time.
Excellent. Oh, I forgot to roll with my specialty in last time.
Felix.
Oh well.
The heck, God. Try and eat your microphone.
Any modifiers?
No, unless you have a specialty, then no.
Okay.
You got a specialty, you said, and
Yeah.
he doesn't have cover.
He's at a penalty for no cover, but
No, he's not a penalty. Yep.
Okay.
That's 4
How
plus 2.
badly do you want to put this guy down?
Felix.
I'm thinking.
That's 6 half to 3.
I was thinking I might re-roll.
Really, bud? I need you to get down. I love you. But you need to get down.
Yeah, I want to put this guy down, so I would buckle down and aim.
Okay. Then willpower.
So I can roll another 3 dice.
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, so that's...
Still boosts it to 1 more additional superficial.
Yep. Yep, it does. He is hurt. Freddy is massively hurt.
I'll just say get on the ground. If I can.
And at you commanding Freddy to do that, Atlas knows that that means to stop, so he's going to pause.
I see what you did there.
So Atlas is going to pause. Joseph is straight up leaving.
Okay. I am going to chase him down.
Okay, yeah, this would be a new turn.
I'm going to presume that Virgil and Atlas have this, and I want the bearded old man. Like I said, it was really doing it for me.
All right. So, Virgil, what are you doing? New round.
If he does not get on the ground, I'm going to put another 2 into his chest.
This man into torpor.
He's going to run and try and obfuscate.
I'm going to put 2 into his chest.
Since Dana's let him go now, he's gonna
Can he obfuscate in front of a viewing audience?
No, he cannot. So he's hoping to get behind cover first.
Thankfully, he don't know about Atlas.
So you're gonna make your composure firearms. He's gonna make his dex athletics. And try and get away from you and obfuscate.
If he takes off running, Atlas is probably directly on his ass, too.
Actually, he's smart enough to know when he's losing. So he's not that dumb. Survival instinct is kicking in, so he's just gonna get on the ground.
I'm sorry, Coffee, but I still shoot him.
Oh, okay. You shoot a defenseless kid. Well, okay, then that's an auto hit. For that damage. Now, with the weapon, are you aiming to decapitate him?
I'm aiming to put him down until he stops moving. I know about it.
Either way, he'll be torpid. Are you intending to kill?
No, I'm not intending to kill.
Okay.
I'm intending to subdue.
All right. He is torpid.
Okay.
Dana, you, my friend, should make a dexterity athletics versus the old man's dexterity athletics.
Rousing the blood.
Can you run in those heels?
Yes, she can. She's a badass. What are you talking about?
God dang it. Well, still catching up.
Yep, you're able to catch up with him. Are you intending to do something else in this turn?
I'm intent to tackle him down to the ground.
Okay. Then we can make another round of athletics checks. You're gonna make a. Oh, actually, I had hit brawl. That meant to be athletics, but it's the same dice. You're gonna make a strength athletics this time versus his dexterity athletics to dodge. -1 for each.
Okay.
This is the same turn. You cannot rouse again.
Oh. Athletics. This is not good for me. Oh, but that I'll take that. 4 to 4. And I'm the aggressor.
Yep, you are. He's the one dodging. So you're able to, with some unnatural speed that you're tapping into for the first time in maybe your existence, that allows you to catch up to Joseph Gutenberg, grab him, and make a tackle for him. Now, this does not cause him to go prone, but you do have him grappled. Since it was a meet, there was a cost for that, so
Okay.
there's no damage. There's nothing like that going on right now. But with your supernatural speed, you're able to catch up and actually get your arms around him to get him to stop moving. And so,
Joe, are you going to make this difficult?
say that again?
Joe, are you going to make this difficult?
Oh, Dana. Dana. Are you intending to kill me now?
No, not now. Where's the fun in that?
Pity. And he is going to...
I am going, however, to draw my knife, and because I can turn this action on, I'm going to activate Daunt.
Okay.
It's not a great defensive measure, but at least it forces him to do more dice rolls.
So you're going to do Daunt, and you have your knife pulled, which you can easily do with your celerity. You don't have to spend time actually pulling it out of anything. You have it at the ready. And he is not intending to let you stab him. What is your action?
But he's not intending to come with me, right?
No, of course not.
We're gonna shank the bitch.
Okay.
And because I do have some extra blood, I am going to rouse. And there we go. This is going to be a melee dex. +3. 1 for specialty, 2 for rouse. There dice. Well, he's dodging. I haven't let go, but he's dodging. He's a limber old man.
He is a limber old man, somehow. And so he's able to get Since you weren't, well, yeah, well, that's a epic failure on your stab roll.
Yeah, but not a one in the hunger.
No, so there's no one in the hunger dice there, but he is able to successfully dodge out of the way of your knife, and continue running. And you're coming up on his vehicle, it looks like.
Oh, I'm gonna like this.
The vehicle that he stashed Willow away in.
Okay. I'm going to continue to charge at him.
Okay. Stamina athletics.
Am I out of combat now, or?
You haven't declared that you wanted to do something that involved Joseph, because you were concentrating on Freddy.
Yeah, I was going to rejoin the chase.
You're a little too far behind.
You're gonna leave a Nosferatu lying in the street?
No, I was going to send my dog after Joseph, so he get run down, and put him in the back seat of your car.
That's going to take, because this is happening in seconds, that's going to take minutes.
Yeah.
Well, can I send Atlas after Joseph?
I don't see why not.
I don't see why not. You can send Atlas.
Yeah, I would send Atlas and basically drag the Nosferatu over to the car.
And Atlas is going to take a couple turns to catch up with them.
That's all right. I can make life difficult for Joseph.
Okay. And so, sorry, what were you doing?
I'm continuing the chase.
Okay. Yeah, stamina athletics.
Well, gonna keep her up. Well, there we go. There's that hunger. No, 11 dice, no successes.
Jesus.
I gotta spend a willpower. Oh, even then I couldn't do it.
No, he's out chasing you. He's outrunning you. And he's gonna get to his car this turn.
All right. If that's the case, I am going to slash the tire.
In the same turn?
Well, if he gets the car and I'm still in chase, well, I have an opportunity to slash. I'm going to take the opportunity to slash the tire, but I can't do it this turn because I got to catch up first.
Mm-hmm.
And while he's only one success ahead, he is ahead. So,
yeah.
However you want to rule it.
Because he's going to be able to get into the car and of course start
he's going to need to fiddle with the keys and all that fun stuff. So unless he has celerity on that one, that would be an amazing use for celerity, actually.
He'd be able.
The car, it's already started.
Yep, he'd be able to start. He'd be able to get in the car and get get situated, and get it to start driving as you're running closer.
Yeah, I gotta take a shot at that tire.
Okay, that's gonna be a dexterity melee versus his drive. And that's going to be a dexterity drive.
He... Can't roll.
He's going to rouse for it, but he's getting hungrier.
It beats.
Mm-hmm. Unless he willpowers it, because he's got willpower to bear.
Oh, gosh.
He's going to roll that one dice. He does not want you slashing those tires.
I gotta take an aggravated willpower.
Ooh, you lucky son bitch. Alright, so you're able to quickly dash up and jab your knife into one of those tires. It's hard to do, but you get it in there, and it slowly starts to seep air out. But as you're doing so, he barely clips you for with the car and starts to zoom off. Hole punch to the tire and everything.
Oh,
Is he driving my direction?
He is driving in your direction because that's the way the car was facing.
I'll drop the body, step out, and take a shot, or start shooting at the engine block.
You're gonna shut that shit down right now.
Alright, then I need that to be a composure and firearms versus his dexterity drive. Which is going to be the same turn, so he's at a neg 1. He's got no specialties going into this.
You know what? I'm going to rouse the blood. I'm running on empty, but I want this to work.
Getting hungry. So very hungry, Virgil. And Whew. Sheesh.
Are you gonna willpower that to make sure?
You know what? It would leave me with one left. I'm going to.
Okay. So that is 6, 7, 8, 9, half to 5
It's not going into him, it's going into the engine block.
into the car. Oh yeah.
It's shutting this shit down.
But that doesn't stop it from moving. So the momentum is going to keep it going. So Virgil, to avoid this, because you did have to step away from the car in order to get a line of sight shot, but it is still coming directly at you. So you're gonna make a dexterity athletics at a neg 1 for having to dodge in order to avoid getting hit and run over.
Plus side, he's got a flat tire and already used his action this turn.
Mm-hmm.
That's 4 successes.
Ooh.
Messy critical.
It doesn't count. It's a combat round.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's you with the speed granted to you by your ancestors. You're able to swiftly dodge out of the way of this careening car that's continuing to go down the road. But it looks like it's potentially gonna catch fire.
Alright. Is it a new round?
It is a new round. What do you do?
I don't stop shooting. If I can see him, I'm shooting at him.
You see him. You see the car careening past. It's still moving. It's still got momentum behind it.
Or should I stop the car? Shoot him or stop the cars?
The car by this point has already passed you.
Oh, okay.
So you're
Then
not
I'll
in
shoot
front of
him.
it anymore. You're behind it.
I shoot him in the back. I just like aim for the back of the seat and punch through.
Okay. Composure firearms. Dana, what are you doing?
I have to try and catch up. I think I'm running right alongside Atlas at this point.
Yep, you and Atlas are running alongside. The vehicle was able to, pick up speed and be able to, go like move faster than you do.
But plus side, he ran, then he drove by me, so it's not as long of a trek to get back as I was expecting.
Let's see. Can he avoid this? No, he's going to take a point of superficial health damage. But when he feels that he's sufficiently far enough away, he's going to bail out of the car, which is going to be an athletics check. Because it is starting to catch fire, and he's not excited about that. And he's gonna keep running. What do you do? By this point, he's in a frenzy.
How far away is he from me?
He's a good distance. He's at least a couple of houses away. So it's going to be...
Question. Did Dana leave the keys in the car?
That's going to be a higher low.
Wasn't a declared action, so...
No,
sure.
She didn't declare it, so high or low.
High. Nope.
Does Dana really look like the type who would just leave her keys in the car?
I was being hopeful. I was going to try to hit him with your car.
But it seems that Joseph Gutenberg is getting away.
I will take off after him.
Go get him, dog.
Yeah, with Atlas probably passing me at some point.
I'm going to have to deal with Freddy.
Virgil, I need you to make me a wits awareness then.
Does he get a bonus for having a hunting dog?
He can have Atlas assist.
Yeah, I'll have Atlas assist.
That's a +1 then. Atlas has awareness as a skill, so.
Jeez, it's just Derek dice all night tonight.
You're infecting me, Derek, and I don't like this.
Welcome to my life.
No, you don't see it. You don't see him. Slippery bastard, he must have got away.
So he's gone.
He did look like he was on the verge of frenzy, so he probably was just getting the fuck out.
Then I would go back and take the one that we did get. Help Dana throw his ass in the trunk.
Yeah, when you open the trunk, you end up seeing this like a makeshift like jerry can, a few stakes, camping stakes, right? Few other things. Dana does not hesitate to stake Freddy. Does not hesitate.
If you didn't, I was going to, so.
He kind of looks at the bullet hole in the side of his face, probably dislocating his jaw.
Yep.
Is it wrong that I think he's prettier now?
We can admire him later. Let's get the fuck out of here. And I'll grab his legs.
Yeah, she proceeds to end up putting him in the trunk of the car and just dives in. She doesn't want to be in here any longer than she has to, though she will definitely keep an eye out in case she gets the free opportunity to run down Joe.
Yeah.
And it's with that the car explodes that he was driving.
Well,
And your inner beasts are not in a place where they like to be.
nope, I am driving away from this as quickly as possible.
Yes.
But you have a staked and torpid Freddy now in your possession.
And I am not hesitating. I am driving out, and we are heading directly to Elysium.
All right. The two of you, Atlas and Freddy. Atlas is just kind of menacingly hovering over Freddy, incapacitated as he is. Let's get you guys over to Elysium.
All right then, Virgil. Don't let this go to your head. Don't start thinking I'm going soft. But thank you.
No worries. This is what we do.
But you mentioned this to anybody else, and I don't
Mention
know.
what?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't even have anything good to end up coming up with. I got nothing.
Don't.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very clear she is exhausted. Like, she is about 2 seconds from just slumping on that wheel, and if she could pass out, not that that's an option, but if she could, she probably would.
If you want to pull over and I'll drive. I'm hungry, but I'm okay.
No one drives this car but me.
Okay.
And for as hungry as you are, if anybody gets to eat that son of a bitch, it's me.
I wasn't thinking of it that way, but
As far as I'm concerned, all Anarch's a free game. God, he's gonna taste like wet sock. I just know it. And it keeps an eye out for Joe. Who knows? But she's not in a capability of keeping herself composed at this point. It's very clear she is broken in some way.
I think we made a good team back there.
Yeah.
So what's the plan now?
We're heading to Elysium, and we're going to end up showcasing a win. And besides, I know that the sheriff is going to end up wanting to ask a lot of questions and take his sweet time with Fred there. And I want to be able to talk to him. You know, say appropriate goodbyes and all that fun stuff.
Well, let's do it then.
And so, you all make your way to Elysium, which is mostly empty for the moment. The only person you really see is Anastasia.
It's at this point, Virgil, I'm pretty sure you're carrying this thing that's wrapped up in garbage bags and duct tape with a little bit of something sticking out the back. His Dana just doesn't have the physical capability of lifting pretty right now.
Yeah,
He'd
Virgil
have to be in
can
a
carry
lot
him.
of pieces to do that.
Virgil can carry him.
Anastasia, it's so good to see you again.
Hello, Dana. How are you?
I need a night of pampering, a lot of blood, and maybe a really good back massage.
I would think that you'd be able to find those things much easier than I.
Probably. But you asked.
Oh, that's fair. I walked into that one, I suppose.
That's all right. You walked into the job too, which I hope is. Look, if I'm gonna have to dispense with the pleasantries, Anastasia. We got a
Yes.
fuckwit of a Nosferatu currently that needs to be meeting the sheriff at this exact moment in time, and I'm under the impression the sheriff is going to need some kind of good news.
I suppose that is very true. I think we all could use some good news.
Well, Anarchs are yeah, Anarchs have one injured and one missing now. Tit for tat.
Tit for tat.
And we got Freddy.
Freddy.
And Nosferatu of the Anarchs is going to be worth quite a bit.
Yes, I suppose so.
I'm sure your harpy wants to lay into us on how bad it's going to be, but we need to report this immediately.
Of course. I can start spreading the word.
We're going to be... I'm going to that couch because it's got gold trim, red velvet, and looks comfortable as all hell right now.
Understandable.
She just kind of...
Weapons?
You'll see Virgil just kind of like open up his jacket and like unclip the M4 and pull his sidearm and just start unloading weapons that he has hidden on him into her arms.
Is this one of the hilarious portions where it starts with like one big ticket item and then here's another one and then another one and then another one and then another one by the time Anastasia's like, okay, enough, I get it, you're a walking armory.
A couple knives, a pistol, a rifle.
She will happily confiscate them for the time being.
Anna's too tired to even think about it. She couch.
Dana, if you have anything on you, I need you to check it.
He kind of rustles and grabs the switchblade and just kind of extends it out with a exhausted arm, face down on the couch.
Oh my. That must have been of...
Anastasia? She puts her finger up to her lips. Shh. Couch time.
Anastasia just nods, takes the knife, and goes back to her station to manage other things amongst what it is that a keeper does, including getting the word out to those of importance by way of contacts, by way of messages on the wind, that the dig crew has made a victory. But I think that is where we're going to leave the session for tonight. And we'll come back to the Soul City with the dig crew providing the city with a small win, but maybe a useful one. But we'll have to see next time. Thank you guys so much for playing the game with me.
Yay!
Oh,
Yay! I didn't get fucking eaten.
Nope. No eating for you.
I didn't get someone killed.
Yay, no getting someone killed for you.
So are we gonna continue next session? No, or like it's still the same night?
It'll be the same night at the Elysium, yes.
Yeah. Do we heal willpower based on ambition and desire?
Yes, you would.
Okay, desire was check Flowwood, and ambition cripple the Anarchs. I think I can check 2.
Okay. I think you can check 2 as well.
Mine was find an Anarch. And my ambition is gain stats in the Camarilla because he doesn't really have another ambition yet.
But this may...
And
I'm
changing
gonna
my desire to remind myself tomorrow.
I'm going to go ahead and say that yes, you have made a stride in gaining status in the Camarilla. You can't... I'm not going to justify XP expenditures on it just yet, but you've made a stride toward it in that you have assisted in the capture of an Anarch. So yes, you can recover willpower based on your ambition.
Is that 1 each?
1 each, yep.
Yep.
One
So remember
aggravated
that
or
little
superficial
trick?
each.
Remember that little trick I told you about your ambition being your long term, and you treat your desire as almost like, here's a baby step I could take towards it?
Mm-hmm.
This is what I mean when you have that going, you're able to heal willpower surprisingly quick so long as you stay on target. But if you kind of meander, that willpower aggravated is going to take its toll for a long period of time.
Yep, it does. Yep, it does. So you got to be working on shit. But yeah, in that case, yes, if your ambition is to offend, in the case of status, I'm going to say reach neonate status as compared to like a status as far as like your fame or your influence in the Camarilla. I'm going to say once you reach a neonate status, you will have accomplished your ambition.
Okay.
You will be considered a neonate, not a fledgling.
And that'll be like I can move around.
That's your long term. Yep.
Yeah.
You can move around freely.
That's his goal. He wants to be off the leash. Though I'm going to have a basic feeding scene next session.
Yep, you're hunger 5, my friend.
Yeah.
At Elysium, no less.
Dana's got you.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming by, and thank you to the lovely people who did, in fact, subscribe today, and for the follows. Because we had Thantos and Ravenstar who resubbed, and we had Leona Maple. The Leona Maple followed us 2 hours ago, so thank you guys so much for the support and for sticking around for the game. I hope you guys liked it. I hope my players liked it too.
Definitely pulling Dana in and out of her own element.
That's what I'm good at.
Yeah. And I love the fact it's like, okay, don't let it go to your head, but thank you. This is the kindest she's ever been doing Nosferatu that didn't have title.
Welcome, Mox. Welcome, Mox. Mox and Mojo. I'm sorry you guys couldn't be here because you guys were feeling sick, but we did have a very interesting session between Dana and Virgil, in which possibly there's a friendship blossoming there, but we'll have to find out. later.
This is going to be an unholy union of Nosferatu and Toreador.
Oh, how the tables have turned. Oh, how the turns have tabled.
How the turns have tabled.
Yes.
I like that. At least he has a dog.
Yes, Atlas was pretty key in all of that too. So yeah.
Oh man!
But we do have the poll up for our audience favorite for the experience, the bonus experience that you guys get. So we do things different to your typical experience gain, in that we make it a little bit of a game, much like Derek does in his Edmonton games and from before, in that everybody gets one for showing up at the table. So you two get your experience for the day. Congratulations. But then we have our players vote on who had moved the plot, who had the best scene, and who had the best line out of the game today. So, guys, who moved the plot?
I'm gonna give that to Virgil. Virgil had the lead. Virgil had the information. Virgil is the one who tabled the turn.
Okay, I'll gladly accept that.
All right, Virgil it is. Who had the best scene out of tonight?
It has to be Dana, because I didn't really do much that wowed anything, except for like in the combat section.
I don't know. The combat was pretty sweet. A whole bit. It's like he's driving right towards me. Hold on, I'm gonna put one through the engine block. Wait, what? I'm gonna put one through the engine block. So I got a tire slash. Like, might as well put this shit down.
Well, I'll let you decide, Derek. Because that was pretty cool.
I'll give that to Virgil. I'll give that one to Virgil.
All right.
I'll be kind.
Dana
because
being
I know,
kind.
Yes, because I know I'm winning the line one, and I know that for a fact.
Anastasia, shh. Couch time.
That's a callback to Motor City. Which, canonically, is all in the same world.
Yes, that has to be line of the night.
I just saw Coffee just completely lose it. I don't think Coffee realized I was building up to that.
No, I don't doubt that you were, my friend. I don't doubt that you were. So, if that's the way that the tables have turned,
Toreador in Elysium flop
on a couch.
Yeah, it's like, really maintain some decorum. Shh.
Couch time. But it's not fair that you get me. What do you think, mother?
That is line of the night. Couch time.
Okay.
It was too good. It made everybody laugh.
I guess we'll make it a callback back to Detroit. It's fine. To our favorite Nosferatu gutter.
Look, fact of the matter is that if I end up knowing when I've won line of the night, and I told Mother this. Mother wants to steal that from me. I am never going to make it easy on.
No, don't make it.
So when he does earn that one, he has earned it. There is no question.
There's only one time I've ever one up Dana, and that was something when you were being snarky as hell, and I said something along the lines of, well, you can believe whatever you want to. And it just kind of left you stumped for a second, like, fuck, I have nowhere to go with this.
Love it. Love to see it. Then yes, Dana gets the line of the night. It's not a clean sweep for Virgil.
Oh God, the XP thing is going nuts again.
Wow. Hundreds of votes. People are like fucking banking their fucking channel points on this one, and they're spending them all too. thank you guys for participating in the polls and for any other participation that you do on the channel because we super, super enjoy it. I have no part in this, which is sad. It is.
Oh God! At this point, they're not even checking to see if it's balanced. They're just keeping it going.
Right.
I can't
Channel
wait to
points,
see
mod
who
check.
is winning. It's probably Mox and Mojo because they can't ever vote because they're
Oh my!
Oh yeah. And then Hero says get
Because they didn't
wrecked.
play today.
Hero Zone says get wrecked. Well, thank you, Hero Zone, for the subscription. Appreciate it. Only a couple minutes left on the poll, so get your tomfoolery going in there because it's gonna end soon. But I hope you guys enjoyed this 2-character little session here because I certainly did. A lot happened, and we love it. We love to see it. So hope you guys.
Saw a few people started boost up data immediately. People started.
It's pretty close. It's pretty damn close. It's 132 to 139 right now.
Come on.
Yep, very close. How did you as players enjoy the session?
Definitely more action oriented. It helps really lean into what Virgil's good at.
Like,
why Virgil is such.
I kind of wanted to, at the give you guys a lead and at the same time kind of showcase what Virgil is capable of because he is the more combat ready kindred out of all of you. Black Wolf, 110,000 channel points dedicated to this vote. Now Dana understands why Rodney even recruited Virgil, so.
Yes. Look, Dana has begrudging respect for Virgil at this point. And that is a huge freaking step. Like, that is... It's like she's just going to tease him rather than outright insult him. Huge fucking win for Virgil.
Also, Selds, thank you so much for the 200 bits dedicated to the poll too. So,
oh wow,
yeah, we appreciate the support around here because that essentially goes right back into the channel because everything that I do production wise is out of passion. I do everything here as a passion project. So every little bit helps to make that everything about this channel that much better. So appreciate it, guys. But we have more things that we're gonna be doing coming up in a couple of weeks, but we can touch on that afterwards because we're gonna shout out our lovely friend Derek. Derek, what you got coming up? What you doing?
Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Macabre Derek, and I am the host for Edmonton by Night Blood Sand Season 2, which happens every single Sunday at 6:30 Central Standard Time. We are coming up on the midpoint of a new arc that we've managed to end up going, the Hunter's Arc. So if you want to end up seeing a point of mystery and callbacks to not only the first season, but the earlier portion of the second season, and have follow an intricate plot line that seems to go absolutely everywhere and nowhere and up until the sudden revelations happen, that is the place to end up going. I also do a Vampire the Masquerade workshop every single Monday at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, where if you have any questions about Vampire the Masquerade, this lovely game that we're enjoying right now, then you can end up coming in to learn the game, learn about the clans, learn about the sects, and maybe end up learning a occasional tidbit on your presentation of characters, NPCs, or maybe fledgling ST. It's specifically geared towards newer players. No question should be considered stupid because, well, bluntly, we've all had them, and the only way to end up helping that out is by actually asking questions. But not only is that important, I'm also responsible for the art you see for the 4 characters there. Why? because I end up doing Drawing on the Macabre every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So yes, in fact, before this show happens, we end up raiding into here, where I end up doing comic book illustrations for various other characters. If you have a character that you'd like to end up seeing illustrated, or you have a particular NPC or PC that you're known for, by all means, end up coming on in. We end up taking commissions live and pretty much do them on the spot. So if you want to end up being involved in that, do check out my channel, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, for Drawing on the Macabre. After all, I do tend to end up doing fairly grisly work, especially when somebody's foolish enough to let me off the leash.
Exactly. We love to see it. So you're going to be up to that tomorrow. I'm going to be probably up to a lot more prep when it comes to Rebirth, a D&D tale, which is going to start airing on July 7th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for a change of pace, moving out of the vampire out of the vampire seat for a second and jumping into Dungeons and Dragons, where I will be continuing the world, as it were, that Maddie has presented in the Hero Zone with the Chroma Company, but we're going to be following events 100 years later, what the ramifications of what's happened, what's happening, and what will happen in the world of Zuvuao, and get a perspective from some characters who have heard stories, maybe have even witnessed some of the events that have taken place in the course of the Chroma Company having an impact on the world. So we're going to be starting that July 7th for Session 0 at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and of course, on the occasion doing an art stream, even though I don't really have much in the way of art projects going on, except I'm doing the occasional D&D prep these days. Also, the salute from the Maddie Morgs. We love our fellow DMs here. Maddie and Derek included, and I'm not a part of anything that Mother's a part of aside from this game, but we appreciate him too. So, with that all being said, thank you all so much for coming by and watching what it is that we present here, and I hope that you all have a great night. So, say goodnight, everybody.
Shh. Couch time.
Couch time.
Couch time it is.